舊樓。咧嗱，今日天氣好舒服嘅咧，幾靚。不過呢度寫5月22號啊，其實就我哋嗰度係5月21號咧。嗱，呢度係5月21號嘅啫。
係啊，遲咗日。
一路睇啲舊樓。
6個鐘喂，個舊咗。喂，我拍緊照。
我梗係同你拍咯，一陣。呢度就係溫哥華嘅中山公園啦，裏邊冇乜嘢睇嘅咧。我老婆最叻睇嗰啲 shop 啦，你睇下啦，又要去買嘢啦。揾到佢啦揾到佢啦有啊，證明啊去買嘢啊呢度就係溫哥華嘅唐人街啦。呢個唐人街個碑啊！好嘢，買唔到嘢。好啊，
好，我哋一班慢轉過先。
好啊，
行翻過嚟先。
呢度溫哥華嘅 Steven Park。
草可以踩。踩草冇問題啊！
好，呢度叫圖騰公園啦，嗰啲紅番嗰啲草。
And do you want a picture?
Come on, everybody.
Is your bicycle?
呢條係溫哥華嘅 Line Gay Beach。
양양빵 김영원 씨 찍어보시오. 찍어봐. 아씨 어디 가셨다. 아이
冇阻住啦。
어디 온 거야? 우리 다 사진 찍을 건데 우리 여기
드디어 다 왔습니다.
呢度出去就係太平洋啦，Come here. Yeah.
Question 20. What does the E in email stand for? Electronic. Okay, so turn up the mark there and write them in down the bottom in a nice big circle and then return the answer sheet to the original team.
Đây là船嘅室內泳池。
幾多你冇？
而家個泳池未開放。而家揾啲網船俾人遊，得2個鐘。得2段時間開放。頭先嗰個係室內嘅，呢個係室外嘅。哇！我老婆想摸下啲水係咪熱㗎喎？佢睇見出煙，真係喎！俾我估中。呢度呢就上面個自助餐廳啊，頭先我哋食咗早餐啊，睇下。照下咯。
shirt and tie canoe. But here we are, and I'm actually here just to introduce somebody to you. He's a very important gentleman. He's very important for two reasons. First of all, he's very important because he is the master of the Radiance of the Seas. But more importantly, he's the gentleman who paid for all the drinks this evening. So please put your hands together and welcome to the stage, all the way from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, Captain Darren Bucknowlands.
How you doing out there? That was kind of lame, wasn't it? Let me ask it this way. Is everybody happy we found calmer waters? Well, on behalf of Royal Caribbean International and the entire team here, I'd like to formally welcome you on board the beautiful Radiance of the Seas. Now, I heard a few of you referring to the Radiance as a boat out at the door. And I can very much assure you that, of course, Radiance is a ship. She's, I guess if you look at the cruise ships worldwide today, she's quite an average-sized cruise ship at 90,000 tons. I think we're about number 17 or 18 in the world. Of course, many of you heard of the Freedom of the Seas. She is going to be the largest cruise ship in the world when she comes out next year, of course launched by Royal Caribbean International, and she's going to be 156,000 tons when she comes out. But Radiance does hold a couple interesting distinctions. We are the first environmentally friendly ship ever built as far as cruise ships. So what that means is that we are actually classed as an environmentally friendly ship, which works very, very well up here in Alaska. And what that means is that when they designed the ship, obviously they looked at some of the most stringent guidelines or stringent rules in the world, which happened to be Alaska, and they built the ship to meet those and exceed those guidelines. So they fitted the Radiance with jet engines. She basically has modified DC-10 jet engines. So the emissions coming out of the stack are sulfur-free and are extremely clean. In fact, you won't even see smoke come out of our stack here. And we also have some of the most advanced wastewater treatment plants here in the world today on board the Radiance of the Seas. A couple other interesting, thank you. Thank you. A couple other interesting things here about the...
Singing upstairs.
Ini.呢度係阿拉斯加啦，今日會到一個阿拉斯加嘅首都啊，叫做 Juneau。咁我哋咧就 book 咗上岸嘅 tour 啊，呢度都開始有啲雪山啦。凍唔凍啊？凍啊！凍咩？唔係好凍啫。呢個係船頭啊！ 呢度就係阿拉斯加嘅 glacier 冰川啊，然之後喺山頂一路流到落嚟㗎啦，積就流到落嚟海度咁啊，喺度係全世界最大嘅可以到嘅冰川。
咁我行前啲啦，嗰度。
中間有好多 iceberg 其實。
影咗拍冰條身啊！影到個山雪山就得㗎啦。影埋嗰啲日本唔緊要啊。你攞景啫嘛。條轉我咪安咗佢咁樣安咗，我幫你影嘅咩？我幫你影啊！未有影啊？仲未影啊？
影咗啦。
記得咁耐。
影下你先啦，
我記得咁耐。
好勁啊喺度！
影埋
個咯。
唔緊要啊。旅行啫嘛。你調翻轉頭都識到喎。有冇閃光？佢夠光唔閃㗎，嗰個全部做買㗎。9個幾人你喺選買㗎。嚟，我食咗影咗未？你影啊。都會有人。哇！有花喎。咩冇所謂啊？我錢就照。超啊！再整多張。佢哋行咗去邊？
上咗去 centre 啦。
多謝晒，拜拜啊！我幫你，好吧？太多人了。
喺呢個 visitor centre 度影呢個 view， 一嚿嚿嗰啲冰雪啊，你睇。
冰川
啊，冰川啊叫做。
因為這零食價還是零一點，要多久時間？要200到250年從山上平分，對不對？你要慢慢的。
So what you have happening here, this is actually the north Mendenhall Glacier, the south, and it's scouring through here like this, and debris falls down on it from the mountainside, and then as it joins right here, you get what's called medial
Attention glacier visitors, the 11-minute movie on Mendenhall Glacier will be showing in approximately 1 minute in the auditorium.
The Juneau Icefield, the Mendenhall Glacier, and the surrounding recreation area are part of the Tongass National Forest. This great, green, temperate rainforest covers most of southeast Alaska and is managed by the U.S. Forest Service. For millions of years, the Earth experienced cooling and warming cycles. During the Great Ice Age, ice covered a third of the planet and half of Alaska. About 15,000 years ago, the climate warmed. Ice released its hold on the land and retreated. Warming and cooling cycles produced 4 smaller glacial advances and retreats. The most recent advance, called the Little Ice Age, began about 3,000 years ago. Alaska's glaciers, including the Mendenhall, are remnants of the Little Ice Age. Just before the American Revolution, about 250 years ago, the glaciers began their most recent retreat. Theories differ as to why.
We're still not certain about Antarctica and Greenland, the big polar ice caps. Certainly throughout most of Alaska, we've seen a general retreat, which certainly reflects change in climate, and probably reflects a general global warming. I think the add-on question is whether global warming is being now influenced by human activity.
Each winter, more than 100 feet of snow falls on the Juneau ice field. Eventually, the accumulated weight compacts snow layers from previous years into solid ice. The Mendenhall, like all glaciers, is born in these collection areas, or cirques. When snow accumulation becomes greater than the cirque, ice overflows. Aided by gravity, the glacier moves downward like a frozen ice river, carving a U-shaped valley. Moving glaciers connect around peaks, called nunataks, that jut through the ice. Mountaintops scoured by earlier glaciers appear rounded rather than pointed. Rocks plucked from the bedrock and frozen in the ice etch grooves and striations in the bedrock. Trim lines indicate the previous height of a glacier by showing abrupt changes in vegetation. Rocks scoured from surrounding valley walls create dark debris lines or moraines along the edges and down the center of glaciers. Crevasses, up to 150 feet deep, form when the moving ice bends over uneven ground. The unique crystal structure of glacier ice gives it a distinctive blue color. Glacier ice absorbs all colors of the visible light spectrum except blue, which passes through. When the dense blue ice is exposed to air and warmer temperatures, the crystalline structure begins to break down. Then all colors of light pass through and the ice appears white. Water flowing from glaciers carries finely ground materials called rock flour or glacial silt. These suspended particles give Mendenhall Lake its gray color. The terminus, or face, of the Mendenhall Glacier stretches about 1.5 miles at its widest point between Bullard and McGinnis Mountains. Like most of the glaciers in southeast Alaska, the Mendenhall is retreating. That means the melting at the face is greater than the glacier's forward flow. The Mendenhall loses about 60 feet a year. The Mendenhall has retreated about 2.5 miles since its furthest advance about 250 years ago. In the 1930s, the glacier still covered the rocks where the Mendenhall Glacier Visitor Center now stands.
And you can see the glacier extends well beyond what you can see.
Today, the Mendenhall Glacier attracts more than 300,000 visitors a year. Many learn about the glacier from information presented at the Visitor Center. Learning also takes place outside while exploring the varied opportunities available in the Mendenhall Glacier Recreation Area. Instead of looking up at the glacier from the visitor center, many choose to look down on the glacier from airplanes or helicopters. Flights allow first-hand viewing of the ice field. Helicopters land on the glacier where visitors can walk on stable sections of ice.
This is just like a whole other world up here.
It's just so grand. It's just something that you never think you're going to experience. The scenery is just so beautiful. It's so different from where we're from.
In the winter, most Mendenhall Glacier visitors are Juneau residents. The frozen lake and surrounding area offer recreation in a stunning setting. offering year-round recreational opportunities, the Mendenhall and other Juneau Icefield glaciers serve as a summer laboratory. Dr. Maynard Miller started leading scientists and students onto the icefield in 1948. Each summer, researchers return. They live in permanent camps located on rock outcroppings and conduct research across the icefield.
It measures the incoming solar radiation and then the outgoing radiation.
14.34 minutes west.
I'd say 24.
Researchers spend only a couple of months on the ice. However, other life on the glacier exists year-round. For example, red algae creates food through photosynthesis and is itself food for other year-round icefield residents like snow fleas. Lichens survive on bare rock near the icefield. And in a rock outcropping in the midst of the icefield, researchers even found a forest of sorts.
This tree is pretty unique because it's the only one that we've found so far on this whole Nunatak. And it's a Sitka spruce. It's probably about 60 to 75 years old. So this dwarfed shape actually represents a lot of years of growth.
Whether a 2-month summer scientist or a 2-hour visitor, those spending time at the Mendenhall Glacier gain a better appreciation of the world during a colder time. They also experience the power of ice to shape the earth.
Just to know that these huge rivers, quote, rivers of ice, have sculpted all the terrain that you see around Alaska. All the terrain here has been modified by glacier ice, either during the last ice age or ones prior to it. And in the mountain reaches, it's still happening now.
The magnificent Mendenhall Glacier satisfies the eye and challenges the mind. In addition, being close to one of nature's powerful forces has a way of putting modern matters into a different perspective.
When the weather breaks and it's calm and it's beautiful, you sit up on these summits or on a high ridge, and there's a strange thing that happens to you. You begin to sense your own minuteness and the shortness of life, and yet at the same time, in a split second, you sense the eternity of the universe around you.
Well, this is a song that it only comes about this kind of tune when
呢度就係食三文魚嘅地方啦。
I changed the word so I wouldn't get in trouble with the Saturday. I call it now. I've been staring at the backside of my 12 favorite dogs. It's still got some pretty funny lines. So I'll see if you guys catch them. If anybody's glaring at me in the middle of the song, I'll just stop. But I think he'll do okay. I only do this for special times. It's a fun one though. Oh, just so you know, the Ogilvies are a mountain range in northern Yukon. Very easy to get very, very lost in. The rest will make sense. I've been staring at the backsides of my 12 favorite dogs. Since we left Dawson City, we've been buried in ice fog. 2 weeks in the mountains, lost in the Ogilvies. I've been staring at their backsides, they keep staring back at me. Well, we made it through the mountains, across the river. We made it through the driving there.
呢個就係我哋坐嘅船啦，叫做 Radiant of Sea， 9萬幾噸嘅，又貴。
呢
呢邊你先睇到個頭喎，冇個方
我知睇，呢個我哋嘅船啊，你睇啊。
嗰度有條橋
喎。係啊，呢度咧已經有幾條遊船喺度啊。因為最遠係一個大雪山，哇！你睇。
This is a drill for the crew only. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Crew Jim, deck 6, forward. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Crew Jim, deck 6, forward. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Crew Jim, deck 6, forward. This is a drill for the crew only. This message is for the crew only. Staging area. Promenade deck. Deck 5, port side, forward. Staging area. Promenade deck. Deck 5, port side.
哇！飛咗幾架，今朝有4架，而家剩翻1架直升機。啲直升機上去山上面睇冰川。今朝到天氣我你凍唔凍啊，老婆豬？咧又唔着衫，你以為我買咗件加拿大冬天俾你啊？嗱，哇哇！
夠唔夠高啊？放落一隻。
哇！4架一齊翻嚟。
係咯，咁快嘅？
半個鐘頭啫嘛，呢直升機半個鐘頭幾百蚊美金咧。
咁驚啊？
係咧。
哇！一齊翻嚟。哦，有冇拍過卡㗎？
有。佢落客跟住上第二批嘛。
係咪仲喺度照緊？
係啊。
3架嚇。1、2、3、4、5架。咦，有5架喎。
係啊。今朝我哋喺房睇唔到嗰架咯。
好啊。 㗎？
有。
水幾靚啊！
呢度行出去攤要10分鐘咧。OK。加下呢個火車入去威卡士。
即係你有一粒就等於2粒啊嘛，咁你嚟安慰自己用啊。同埋佢係姜絲，咁然之後咧，你杯水就必須加鹽素，
Well, Alexis Burton is about to begin making her way through your cars to say hello and to tell you about some of the amenities of your former cars. The railway did start up about 1988, and now it's strictly a home tourist off-the-ship. Our season is just in the summertime. We start about the 1st of May, and then we end the end of September.
这样摸黑的就好。
这白白的。
因为你这样拍啊，那个冰油拍啊。
这个是冰油的。
啊，你看啊。
你想幫你影張啊？
哦。要不然
向前行嗰陣時一路影。
不翻你的把你嘛，你做是这样啊，下去的之后的。等一下是这样下去，这样下去。
接下去就最後，呢個跟住你
還要去接。
即係佢啊！我哋即將做啦。
等一下就下去。
Folks, as we make our way down the Skyway, we're going to pass by a train, so make sure you give those passengers a friendly wave as we go by. Make them know that we're having a good time.
MRT 也是有，你看那个 Expo 那边的，到江一的那个 Expo 那边，那我就小嘅。
Those flags are going to be off to your right.
幾多錢？我冰球你喺度求你啊
Pounds and pounds of goods. Well, the National Park Service has graciously put on display for us what these items were and what they look like. So if you get a chance today, it's right next to the depot. It's called the National Park Service building. They have a nice little display of what it would look like to carry all these items up to the summit. And past, all the way to Dawson City, again about 600 miles from Skagway.
Well,
we're passing through that 700 football tunnel. Do remember on the other side is that steel cantilever bridge. When this railway was completed, it was a marvel of engineering technology. That steel cantilever bridge and the entire 110 miles of track was actually inducted into the historic civil engineering landmark in 1994. Well, there are only 29 of these landmarks worldwide, so this entire railway joins marvels such as the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty, and the Panama Canal. Trip to see those mountain goats. Again, they're the off-white colored animals. You often see them running around, so remember to keep an eye out for those. Across from us, you can see a waterfall coming down the mountain. So if you look directly to the left, probably about 700 feet or 700 yards, you can see about 4 of them standing right there. So once again, they're about eye level. To give you a little marker, if you look right off across from us, you can see that waterfall coming down. Just keep shooting your vision off to the left, and you'll see about 4 of them kind of walking around right there.